You're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and Sandman. Today, on this Monday, man, we are happy to be in the building. And peace to everybody listening on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play. Sam, and we gotta dabble back into this one more time, man. We saved this story, for this date right here to talk about, our good brother Dame Dash. The R. Kelly situation. Well, Memphis Bleek pretty much sat down and did a podcast, and he called my man Dame Dash a liar. I'm gonna play this clip right here, and then we definitely gonna talk about this, bro.
There's been a lot going on at the top of the year. Everybody know I fucks with Dame Dash. This is my guy, Rockefeller history. But somebody got to tell he's bugging.
He's tripping. He's a clown.
You bugging.
Then the kid and shit.
And then you gonna really say you wasn't down with niggas. You was opposed to it. Any camera, all these shits. You fucking lying. I'm on my flex shit. You lying with that. Whoa.
Whew, so that's Memphis Bleek coming out. Now, what he's saying is he's lying about is pretty much that he wasn't down for the Jay-Z and R. Kelly collaboration, the whole project. I think it was called Unfinished Business or The Best of Both Worlds first, and they come back with another, album after that. So what do you think about this, man? Memphis Bleek, who we know is Jay-Z's right-hand man. We know that he's been on the inside, and, from what I know, a pretty stand-up brother. Coming out calling Dame Dash a liar. What are your initial thoughts on this, man?
Well, if there's one thing we know is Memphis Bleek was around for all of it. He was there. He's in The Rock. He's Jay-Z's man. Jay-Z's man to this day. Jay-Z takes care of him. Not takes care of him, my bad, but always known to be Jay-Z's guy. Let's just put it that way. And he says that Dame Dash is this guy, never really heard any animosity. So it will kind of paint you toward the direction of going, yeah, this might have some weight to it. Dame Dash is highly respected on this podcast, highly respected. But you got to go, it makes sense. Now, he said in his defense that his name isn't on any of those albums. He wasn't involved. He wasn't in the Fiesta video. He wasn't around R. Kelly. He wasn't around. It didn't seem like there were any shots at Jay-Z for that matter. So you could kind of understand where he's coming from. But if you weren't there, it was just off of speculation. Now, I kind of want to lead toward the side of Memphis Bleek. I wouldn't go as crazy as to say he's full of shit, he's corny, because now I think these are little shots, and this is interesting because I believe this was on Tidal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Jay-Z's channel. So the dude calls him a clown in the background, Jay-Z's channel, and then you have Memphis Bleek saying I'm on my flex shit, which now seems like it's on a little bit of an attack in the flex, and now you're talking
that's a cosign.
So like I'm in, you know what I mean, subconsciously, what are y'all doing here? Now, it may have some weight to it, but what are y'all doing here? So what do you think about it? Are they trying to call Dame Dash full of shit all the way?
I mean, he called him a liar. He flat out called him. The other dude called him a clown. He said he was on his flex, shit. What the average person, would say, okay, he's co-signing some of the things, if not all the things that Flex was kind of saying, calling Dame Dash, I think it was a few, weeks ago. But again, to talk to Dame Dash, about this. But he did leave a little clip, right here. So I'm gonna play this clip right here off the Nick Cannon's class podcast, and then we'll further elaborate.
Because I was always taught that relationships are more important than money.
No, relationships should be based not on money. It should be based on that person being solid. Look at the situation now. Look at R. Kelly.
Unfortunately, I worked with him.
Everybody was looking the other way, right?
But y'all worked.
No, not y'all.
Not you.
All right, so what don't put me in
within Rockefeller.
Don't put me in that. No, ain't no Rockefeller on that.
Ain't the Not Guilty song with Jay and R. Kelly? They singing, I ain't doing it. Not guilty. That's on that. Just because you ain't in the video, I got you on the set.
You don't understand something. I remember having a conversation with Aaliyah, and I was like, yo, tell me what happened. And she was like, she just couldn't. You know what I'm saying? And I just left it at that. And she said, leave it alone. So what you think I felt? I'm human, bro. But I had to look the other way.
Right.
All these years. So publicly, that man did a record with that nigga that raped my girl that he liked as well. Right? Wow. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
But no one said that.
So when we say that was some of the beginning of just y'all not.
So Dame Dash has been pretty much called out. Pretty much what they're saying now is like, look, you was with it. You know what I mean? With this whole thing. Don't try to back out of this shit now. Now that the heat's on R. Kelly. At the time, we know that Dame Dash was dating Aaliyah at this time where they were doing the album and everything, in which we know that Dame was there, Memphis was there, I mean, that'd be an interesting conversation to have. But what they're trying to say now that Dame is lying, you was with it the whole time. Now you're trying to just back out of it because the heat's on R. Kelly. Do you think that's the case, Sandman?
Very interesting.
I mean,
do I think that's the case? I think that it may be a little bit of the case. I think that knowing and giving Dame Dash's, and we don't know him personally, but just seeing everything that we see via and getting the gauge on him throughout the last 2 decades, having a conversation with Aaliyah, I could see him approaching R. Kelly. I could see him being one of those dudes that we were talking about, punching in the eye or rupturing or a rib or doing one of those things. Because he's going to call it for what it is. And if he's in that dude's presence, it's going to happen. I would love to hear more of Memphis Bleek's perspective on this, as opposed to just saying, you're full of shit, I'm on my flex shit. Because was he cool? Was he clapping him up? Well, I mean, how was the extent of the relationship? Or was he just on set? Y'all know he didn't fuck with him, and now you just doing this as an agenda. I don't know. I have a tendency to believe Memphis Bleek to a certain degree, but I can't help but to think that there's a little bit of a little jab thrown toward Dame Dash, given the fact that this is on Tidal. You never hear any Jay-Z's perspective. And I was going to ask you, do you think this time, given all of this, because this shit's serious, and now you got Jay-Z and Beyonce being thrown into this, Jay-Z and Foxy Brown being thrown into this, will this render a response, even in a record? Because we see Jay recently respond via music. Do you see Jay-Z in the near future even responding to Dame Dash and all this is what's going on?
He may, you know what I'm saying? He may, throw a shot of something in the upcoming, album. But, you can kind of, I mean, we know that Memphis Bleek, he runs Do Say now, which is part of Jay-Z's company. So they're connected. They talk to each other. So that's like kind of like if me and you, like, we're going to echo the sentiments of each other. So obviously, Tidal and all these other people kind of, in my opinion, feel that Dame Dash, they look at Dame Dash in a certain unfavorable way. You know what I mean? Obviously, and it came through their platform. Again, I would like to hear Dame Dash address this, whole situation. Now, Dame Dash did, to his credit, pretty much saying that it was the R. Kelly and Jay-Z situation that kind of led to the demise. It was one of the reasons why they broke apart, Rockefeller. You know what I mean? I do remember hearing that. So, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know who's right or wrong here, but it's definitely an interesting, situation. My thing is, if he wasn't with it, why did Jay still do it? If he wasn't really with all that, do the project with R. Kelly.
Well, I mean, it makes sense when you start thinking about the demise, but then I'll think to myself, was it this or was it Leor? Or was it a combination and a pepper and both?
That'd be good to know. But
who knows? But yeah, it'd be awesome to hear even Memphis Bleek's perspective. I'm kind of leaning toward the sentiment of you, like it has some weight to it, but we just got to hear more at the end of the day. I do see I do believe that Dame Dash, given the fact that this is Memphis Bleek getting back on Kenyatta's platform, shout out to our brother Kenyatta, CEO of Hip Hop Motivation, and having an answer to this, because I don't see Kenyatta letting it pass by. I see them having a conversation and him asking about what Memphis Bleek said, and then I believe we'll hear a response real soon. Yeah,
and we'll definitely, once we get it, we will be airing it here on the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and Sandman going in today on this Monday. Everybody listening on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button and make sure that you share this video. Well, speaking of Tidal, there's a report that came out today that Tidal was under investigation for allegedly inflating streaming numbers. Now, according to several reports, Tidal is being investigated for inflating or allegedly inflating streaming numbers. Now, Bloomberg noted a probe was being conducted on a streaming platform by a Norwegian authority for an investigation of economic and environmental crime, also known as ACRIM. Hope I'm saying that right. The investigation was sparked by a report from local newspapers, along with claims from Norwegian artists associations. The associations claim they lost out on money due manipulation of streaming data from Tidal. I guess it meant to say due to. But the attorney issued a statement and said it's been made known through media coverage that the reports relate to Tidal streaming service and a suspicion that someone has manipulated the number of plays of songs. Now, a lawyer from Tidal did respond to the claim and said Tidal is not a suspect in the underlying investigation. We are communicating with Ocarum. We are aware that at least one person we suspected of theft has been questioned, and this is coming from the Bloomberg Quink.com, this particular article here. Sam, man, what do you think about this? Tidal being under investigation allegedly for inflating numbers, which is ironic because Jay-Z accused other people of doing this, but we don't know for sure. What do you think about this?
I'm not an expert in it. My gut reaction is this is bullshit.
Right.
Definitely. This is a way just to kind of tear down Tidal. You often see that in the race with Spotify and Apple Music.
It's only